Well, let's crank some of these out. These should be items that you can hopefully do fairly quickly. Hopefully. You're foiling. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative 4 is a negative 20i. Plus 6i minus 12i squared. That should only temporarily remain an I squared, and that should only temporarily remain a negative. Negative times a negative, and this, remember, is a negative 1. This should instantly become a plus 12. Okay, you need to start recognizing that an I squared is a negative 1, so that will change this to a plus, and it just becomes a normal 12. 12 and 10 is 22. Negative 20 plus 6i is going to be a minus 14i. You will never have an I squared when you multiply these. I squared will always simplify. Let's do this, 13. I see people multiply these all the time. You should not. Please don't. That minus means you're combining like terms essentially after changing the sign. So I'd like to do this, change that to a plus. But if you get distracted, that could be trouble, because that plus assumes that you distributed the negative to all these. And so that 7 is really a negative 7, and that minus I is really a plus I. At that point, people, some of you still try to multiply. Fight the urge. Fight the urge, my people. Negative 6 and negative 7 is a negative 13. Negative 3i and a positive I is a negative 2i, and that is it. Okay, while we're here, I to the 19th. This pattern recycles every 4 times. So what I suggest is some long division. If you have a calculator, that makes it easier. You can't do the calculator on a test. So 4 into 19 doesn't go in evenly. So that means it's going to be something other than 1. 4 into 19, 4 times. That number doesn't matter. So what if it goes through the cycle 4 times? Where are we in the cycle once we conclude? 4 times 4 is 16. If you subtract, that is a 3. That remainder, we've seen another remainder today. That R3 basically means that we are 3 steps through our little pattern of I squared, I to the 3rd power, and I to the 4th. I squared is negative 1, I to the 3rd is negative I to the 4th is positive 1. If it goes in evenly, if 4 goes in evenly to that number, your answer is 1. If it goes in not evenly and it has a remainder, that remainder is going to match the exponent you see here on this left side. So I to the 19th is the same because it has a remainder of 3 when we divide 19 by 4. That remainder of 3 tells me that it's the same as I to the 3rd, which is the same as a negative 1, or negative I. I to the 8th, 4 goes into it evenly, therefore, since 4 goes into it evenly, it's going to be equal to 1. 22, it does not go into it evenly, it'll have a remainder of 2, so the answer is going to be the same as I squared, or negative 1.